Hi, Jim Romer. Let's talk about cocoa today. One of the few ag markets in a downtrend as grain prices have exploded again on the Russian-Ukraine wars and, of course, global weather problems that we've been talking about the clients for weeks. Cocoa prices influenced by the stronger dollar has helped to pressure prices because of rising interest rates. Grind data demand has been relatively weak. And of course, rainfall in West Africa. West African crops are very important to the cocoa market. As we see, cocoa prices actually have gone down because of this wet weather you see into the month of May in West Africa. That's the dollar index soaring here near about a 5-year trend line because of rising interest rates. So how do we actually get a bull market in cocoa from a weather perspective? We need to see La Nina weaken. Right now, it has been strengthening again. We need to see something we call the Indian dipole turn negative, and the TSA, the Tropical South Atlantic Index, cool off, also turn negative. Now, here you see the Tropical South Atlantic, normal to warm in white and yellow. If it cools to blue, that tends to retard rainfall, causes suppression of rainfall in West Africa, but right now we've seen decent moisture. When you have that and La Nina weakening and what we call a negative Indian dipole, which would be cooling ocean temperatures off the coast of East Africa and warming further over Indonesia, that is the biggest indicator of weather-related problems. That happened, for example, back in 2015. This was the last El Nino and last major bull market in cocoa. Look at the red, very stressed out cocoa crops back in 2015. And now relatively normal to healthy in blue. That's the problem. That's why cocoa prices have not rallied strongly here. As you notice here on my chart from bestweatherinc.com, we advise clients around the world in many commodities, ags, natural gas, and soft commodities. Typically, we see the bull markets in cocoa during El Nino events, not La Nina, but there are exceptions. For example, my program here, Climate Predict, where you see the stars represent the type of La Nina we have right now with a cooling in the Eastern Pacific and the Indian dipole that I talked about possibly going negative. If this happens, even with a La Nina, which is weak to moderate right now, we could see 5 to 8 inches below normal rainfall. There you see that arrow there this summer in Ghana and Ivory Coast that produces 2/3 of the world cocoa. Right now, things are relatively good. I've been relatively bearish cocoa. Things could change, so what you need to do is certainly subscribe to our newsletter. We have one that's very inexpensive called Climate Intelligence and one called Weather Wealth. We've been helping farmers, particularly in the wheat market lately, take advantage of these huge price spikes and cool, wet weather we watch for weeks to come here for the Corn Belt. And that's going to be important for farmers when they hedge their crops, maybe buy futures, maybe buy options. Stay with us. We advise clients all over the world. Thank you. Have a very nice week.